body bags, where horror lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, welcome to week 4 of Body Bags. This is your fright chick speaking. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Okay, so as you know by now, we are going to be doing the classic body bags. Cannot believe none of us have done this yet, but don't worry, I'm going to save the day by doing it myself. Now, as you can see, I don't have the box with me. I'm very sorry, but here's a picture of Bruce Campbell to make it better.
Hail to the king, baby. Okay,
so let's crack on with this review. Okay, so Body Bags is basically an anthology horror comedy. I think it's more horror really than comedy. There's 3 stories in it, and the wraparound is basically John Carpenter making a cameo as a coroner who basically goes up to a different body bag and he then relates the story of how that body bag came to be. So the first story is the gas station, and it features a young woman called Anne who is basically, I think she's trying to pay her way through college, and she's taking random odd jobs as sort of gas station attendants in the middle of the night. Her friend drives her to a random gas station and she basically sets herself up for a night ahead of serving customers. What she doesn't know is that there is a serial killer on the loose, and then she eventually finds this out, but we obviously know this. And we see her interacting with different customers, learning the ropes of the new gas station that she's in, and obviously spooking herself a lot throughout the story. And then, of course, the twist at the end, which I'm not going to tell you, it has a nice little showdown with the serial killer. You know, we find out a little twist here and there, and there's a very satisfying ending to that particular story. But that is basically the plot. It's not a very in-depth plot. Can't speak. But yeah, so she's at a gas station. There's a serial killer on the loose. She spooks herself an awful lot. Story number 2, hair. Now, I saw Body Bags when I was a child, and I didn't know that it was called Body Bags, but I remember hair really well, and it scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. There is basically a businessman named Richard, and he's obsessed with his I still can't speak, his thinning hair. You know, he's sort of middle-aged, and he's got like a really pretty wife/girlfriend, I can't remember, and he's just obsessed. He's very, very, you know, he's lost a lot of confidence because of his thinning hair. So he sees an advert from a doctor called Dr. Locke, who has a miracle cure treatment to fix his hair for him. So he goes in, has a consultation, what kind of hairstyle would you like, blah, blah, blah. They put the treatment on his head, and he comes out with hair like mine. It's proper long and like thick and like stallion looking, and he is in love with it, and he's so happy. What he has failed to realise though is that this treatment is not a normal hair treatment, and it starts making him very sick, and we start seeing the hair sort of alive. It bleeds, it makes noise on its own, and it starts growing through his skin, and it just goes way too far. There is also a very satisfying end to this particular story, one that I don't think you'll see coming. I didn't see it coming. It's certainly not hinted at in the story, and you kind of go, oh my god, that's pretty cool. Debbie Harry makes a cameo in this as the nurse. Oh, and I should have mentioned that Wes Craven and Sam Raimi also make a cameo in the one before, the gas station. Third story, probably my favourite one, is called, I think it's just called I, or it could be The I. And it has Mark Hamill in it as the lead and Twiggy as his wife. There's a lot of famous people in this. And it's basically about Mark Hamill, who plays a guy called Brent Matthews, if I remember rightly. And he's a pro baseball player. He gets into an accident very early on in the story where he has his eye pretty much gouged out. Really awesome scene with the accident and the eye prosthetics. It's great. And then he's screwed. You know, he can't have any more like of his career. He's done for. And then it comes about that he can have a donor eye put in. And of course, we all know having a body part put into yourself is probably a killer's body part, and he'll turn evil. That's pretty much what happens in this. He starts seeing things that other people can't see. He starts seeing visions of killing his wife. I think she's pregnant in this. And the donor eye came from a necrophiliac serial killer. Obviously, I'm not going to give away the ending of it, but that's the entire plot, is watching him come to terms with this whole, you know, necrophiliac's eye sending him these visions, and I was just like, it couldn't have just been a serial killer, it had to be a necrophiliac serial killer. I was like, maybe because they had a serial killer in the first story, they had to go one further. I don't know. But yeah, so that's basically the 3 stories, and then we wrap up the end of it with John Carpenter. I do believe Toby Hooper makes a cameo in this, as does Tom Arnold as the morgue attendants. So that's pretty much the entirety of Body Bags. It's definitely a decent watch. It is getting released in a couple of months. Scream Factory is going to be releasing the Blu-ray. I think it's the first time. I'm not sure how many other DVD releases there are of this movie, but the Blu-ray is being released in a couple of months. Unfortunately, from all the research that I could do, I'm pretty sure it's only going to be Region 1. So for people like me, we're kind of screwed for now, because I don't have a multi-region DVD player. Mine is Region 2 Blu-ray player. My laptop, however, is set to Region 1, but I can't play a Blu-ray in that, so damn it. But yeah, so look forward to that, guys. Check that out on Scream Factory. I think it's like $21.95. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. This movie was basically going to be like a Tales from the Crypt series. They were going to make it like an episode type thing. And apparently very early on in production, they decided not to bother with that. So they had like these 3 stories pretty much in the works, and they just decided to turn it into a movie. And well done you who thought that, because it's a bloody good movie. Right, we're at 8.5 minutes now, so I'm going to end this, and I will see you next week for week 5. Bye.